All right, so LeBron James, right. We all remember when he just kind of, I don't know, casually strolled past Kareem to become like the all-time scoring leader.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah. But get this, that whoa, hold up feeling.
Yeah.
We might be due for round 2 because the guy's about to break another record.
And this one, honestly, might be even wilder when you really think about it.
Okay, now I gotta know, what's the record this time?
We're talking about the most total games played in the NBA.
Wait, like ever?
Ever. Regular season, playoffs, the whole shebang. Every time LeBron's laced up those sneakers in an NBA game.
I gotta admit, I didn't even know that was a track record.
Yeah.
So, who holds it now? And just how close are we talking?
Well, that crown currently belongs to, who else? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, of course. The man finished with a mind-blowing 1,797 games played.
Seriously.
Yeah, and LeBron. He's sitting at 1,779.
Hold up, 1,779. So he's what, less than 20 games away? The season isn't even over.
18 to be exact. It's unbelievable, really. And just to keep things interesting, Robert Parrish is right there in the mix, too. Finished with 1,795.
Oh, right. Parrish, how could I forget? Man, 3 absolute legends all gunning for that top spot in the history books. Okay, I gotta be honest, my brain's still trying to process that many games. It's insane. I mean, the NBA isn't exactly known for being, like, easy on the body. How are these guys even functioning, let alone playing at that level for so long? I mean, come on, you see those old clips of players from back in the day that were practically wrapped in bubble wrap by the end of their careers? What's changed?
Well, for starters, the game itself is different, but the real game changer, it's the science, the training, the recovery. It's night and day compared to even a decade ago.
Okay, so break it down for me. What kind of night and day are we talking about here?
Think of it like this. These guys, especially someone like LeBron, they're basically treating their bodies like high-performance machines. We're talking personalized diets, trainers who are practically sports scientists, therapies most of us have never even heard of.
I'm picturing LeBron in a full-body ice bath hooked up to a supercomputer with a personal chef standing by.
You're not far off. Remember that whole thing a few years back with LeBron and that hyperbaric chamber?
Vaguely. What does that even do?
It basically forces your body to absorb more oxygen, which speeds up recovery time, like hitting the fast-forward button on healing.
A fast-forward button for healing, huh? Man, what I wouldn't give for one of those after a weekend of pickup games.
Right. Sign me up. But seriously, the dedication that goes into all of this, it's not just the physical grind either. It's the mental game, too. To stay on top of your game like that year after year, the pressure alone would crush most people.
You know, it's funny you should say that because I was just thinking about the mental aspect of it all. We always talk about athletes being physically gifted, but to be able to maintain that level of, I don't know, excellence for 2 decades, that's some next-level mental fortitude right there.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, LeBron's entire career has been under a microscope, every move scrutinized, every game analyzed. The pressure is relentless, and yet the guy just keeps rising to the occasion. It's incredible to watch.
It really makes you think, what could we all accomplish if we had even a fraction of that kind of like mental resilience?
It's inspiring, right? And I think that's something we can all take away from LeBron's story. It's not just about basketball. It's about setting high standards for yourself, pushing your limits, and never giving up.
Love that. So speaking of high standards, this record, this potential record-breaking achievement, we got to address the elephant in the room. Does this cement LeBron's claim to the GOAT title?
The eternal greatest of all time debate. You know, that's a discussion that could go on forever. And honestly, I kind of like that. Keeps the passion alive, you know.
Our listeners definitely have their opinions on that one, that's for sure.
Exactly. And there's no denying this record just adds another layer to the whole conversation. I mean, it just highlights how dominant LeBron's career has been, how much he surpassed everyone's expectations, especially in terms of longevity.
Right. It's like you've got Michael Jordan's era, Bill Russell's dominance, Kareem's legendary career. How do you even begin to compare across different eras like that?
Exactly. And I think that's kind of the point, isn't it? Every generation has its legends, its own definition of greatness. It's not about crowning one definitive GOAT. It's about appreciating the impact that each of these players has had on the game.
That's a really good point. But back to LeBron for a second. Didn't the articles mention something about him being, closer to the end of his career than the beginning?
Right. He's talked about wanting to play long enough to share the court with his son, Bronny, which would be something else. But it does make you wonder, what if he just keeps going.
Wait, are you suggesting LeBron James could actually play long enough to make even this record, the one he's about to break, untouchable for, like, another generation?
Well, we all thought Kareem's records were untouchable, right? Look at us now. LeBron has a way of defying expectations.
Hold on, are we seriously suggesting LeBron could rewrite the record books so drastically that they need, like, a whole separate wing in the Basketball Hall of Fame just for him?
I'm just saying we might be looking at the definition of prime time being completely rewritten before our eyes. What we used to think were limitations, career-ending kind of stuff, LeBron's making it look like a warm-up.
It's like watching one of those, what are they called? Those unstoppable forces of nature. Like, you know it's powerful, you know it can change everything. But good luck predicting exactly how it's going to play out.
Exactly. And you know what else I find fascinating about all of this? It's not just about racking up points or hitting a certain number of years on the court. The man's building a narrative here, even as we're talking about him nearing the end.
True. It's like that last act in a movie, but every time you think it's wrapping up, bam, another plot twist. He's already accomplished more than most people could dream of. So, like, what's the driving force now? What legacy is LeBron James aiming for at this point?
Now, that's a question worth asking. It's got to be something beyond just rings or trophies at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's about shaping the future of the game itself, inspiring that next generation of players.
It's funny, I remember watching him back when I was a kid. Those early Cleveland games, the energy was electric every single time he stepped on the court. And now, to think there's a whole generation out there growing up with LeBron as their basketball hero, man, it's wild how time flies.
That's the thing about true influence, right? It echoes through generations. And let's not forget the impact he's making off the court, too. Speaking out on important issues, using his platform to give back to the community. That's real influence right there.
It's true. On the court, off the court, he's a role model, and that's just as important as any game-winning shot or broken record.
It really makes you wonder, years from now, when they're talking about LeBron James, what will be the thing people remember most? The records will be there, for sure. But I think it's going to be the impact, the inspiration, the fact that he never backed down from a challenge.
Couldn't have put it better myself. So as we sit here watching LeBron chase down this wild record for most games played, I think it's important to just take a second and appreciate what we're seeing. It's not just history in the making, it's the redefinition of what's possible.
And the best part,
yeah,
we're not even at the final chapter yet. He's still got more to show us, more boundaries to break.
I, for one, am definitely not missing a single minute of it. And folks, there you have it. Another deep dive in the books. We explored LeBron's incredible career, the always evolving world of basketball. But remember, this is just the beginning. Keep those questions coming, keep digging deeper, and most importantly, never lose that sense of wonder. Until next time.